Before beginning the installation of each Clean Hands monitoring unit, make sure you have identified the exact location for the soap dispenser and the monitoring unit near each sink. Each location should be identified in the customer-specific installation plan document. For each monitor location, you should have the following equipment: a Clean Hands monitoring unit and a Clean Hands soap dispenser. Also, make sure you have all necessary tools and materials as described in the customer-specific required equipment and required tools checklists. To install each Clean Hands monitoring unit, first, remove the cover from the monitoring unit. Verify that the unit looks like this inside. In other words, that it has an LCD, a microphone, a speaker, and 2 pairs of wires, one black and brown, and one red and black, coming from each of the 2 2-pin connectors on the left side of the board. Second, open the dispenser and remove the soap cartridge. Depending on the type of dispenser, this may be done by pressing on the cover or using a key provided with the dispenser. Verify that there are 2 pairs of wires coming from the motor housing of the dispenser. One pair is red and black. Both wires on the other pair are white. Thread all wires through the nearest hole in the back of the dispenser. If monitor and dispenser are being mounted on drywall, wood, or other drillable surfaces, hold the unit up on the wall and level it. Then mark 4 screw hole positions of the dispenser and 4 screw hole positions of the monitoring unit on the wall with a pencil. Note, the cabling hole will already exist in the wall. Do not mount a monitoring unit until after the Cat5 cable from the monitoring location to the central network location has been run. Make sure the mounting location of the monitoring unit is such that the cabling hole in the backplate of the monitor lines up with the hole for the Cat5 cable. If the cabling hole does not exist, mark and drill the cabling hole. Next, drill the screw holes for both devices. Drill the extra hole behind the dispenser for the wires. Run the wires from the dispenser up inside the wall and out the Cat5 cable hole. Next, mount the dispenser by screwing it onto the wall using 4 screws in the holes just drilled. If monitor and/or dispenser are being mounted on an impenetrable surface, such as metal, cut 3 equal lengths of both the hook and loop sides of the Velcro. Press the hook and loop sides of each length together. Remove the tape from one side of each length and press the sticky side onto the device to be mounted. Keep in mind that wires between dispenser and monitor and Cat5 cable to monitor will be run in conduit along the wall surface. Press the monitor onto the wall in the specified location, making sure that the wires run along the path of the dispenser toward the location of the monitor unit along the shortest path. Run the wires from the dispenser up inside the wall and out the Cat5 cable hole. Pull the wires from the dispenser through the large hole in the monitor backplate from the back. Run the Cat5 cable coming from the central network location into the large hole in the monitor backplate from the back. Press the monitor unit onto the wall in the specified location while keeping all wiring tight against the back of the monitor backplate. 4. Replace the soap cartridge in the soap dispenser. 5. Identify the 2 wires coming from the 2-pin connector in the middle of the left side of the board in the monitor unit. Connect one of the white wires coming from the dispenser to each of these wires using either Scotch locks, small wire nuts, or, the preferred method, solder and heat shrink tubing. Six. Identify the two wires coming from the 2-pin connector at the top of the left side of the board in the monitoring unit. Connect the red and black wires coming from the dispenser to these two wires. Typically, red goes to black and black goes to brown. However, you can be sure which goes to which by testing whether the connection powers up the soap dispenser. If the light on the dispenser does not come on, switch the wire connections. Finally, connect the wires using either Scotch locks, solder and heat shrink tubing, or small wire nuts. 7. Plug the Cat5 connector coming out of the wall to the RJ45 connector on the monitor unit board. If the other end of the Cat5 cable is connected to the Data Plus power port of a power injector in the central network location, the unit should power up. The LCD should light up, and after some initial displays, should say, "Welcome to Clean Hands." 8. Close the lid of the dispenser. At this point, activation of the dispenser should cause soap to be dispensed and cause the monitor unit to beep. If setup of the Clean Hands server has been completed and all cables in the central network location are connected, a message should be displayed on the LCD within at most 15 seconds after the beep saying either, "I didn't hear you, try again," or "Thank you for using Clean Hands." In this case, our installer's name is already programmed into the system. But if any other message occurs, contact Clean Hands for support. 9. Finally, replace the cover on the monitor unit. Make sure all cabling, both between the dispenser and the monitor, and from the central network location to the monitor, is either hidden behind the mounting wall or enclosed in conduit. And you're done. Now go wash up.